President and Chairman John Michael Chambers, welcome.
Thanks, James. Great commentary and analysis on many of the issues facing us today, and very timely. And now I've got some breaking news. Biden. The CCP officials deliver a hard drive, not talking about the laptop at the computer store. CCP officials deliver hard drives to the United States DOJ. 3 hard drives having been delivered to the U.S. DOJ by 3 very high-level retired CCP officials. We'll see if we can get the pronunciations right. Jiang Zemin, Zhang Qinghong, Meng Jinzhu, who are respectively the former CCP General Secretary until 2002, former CCP Politburo member until 2007, and the former CCP Attorney General until 2017. That's right. The files on this first hard drive appear to be the same or similar to the discovered content on Hunter's abandoned laptop, as reported by the New York Post and censored by those that James just talked about. So here's a recap. 1, the first hard drive contains shocking videos of Hunter Biden sexually abusing and violently torturing female children, along with a copy of the $4.5 billion Kazakhstan and Ukrainian natural gas contract. That's right, $4.5 billion contract that Hunter signed with who? Chairman Xi Jinping and Vice President Wang Qishan. Hunter, put on your seatbelts, folks. Hunter willingly allowed himself to be filmed engaging in crimes against humanity by the CCP, who required it as an insurance policy for their $4.5 billion deal. Number 2, the second hard drive contains blackmail against Xi and Wang, the financial records of their hidden offshore assets, as well as the outline of their so-called architectural art project, which is their plan for the CCP to control not only 1.4 billion Chinese people, but also the United Nations, the United States, and all U.S. presidents moving forward. And number 3, the third hard drive contains information, get this, about a virus and bioweapons. Now, for more information on this breaking news, follow us on Making Sense of the Madness YouTube channel. We're on 8 other platforms. Just go to YouTube to get started. Making Sense of the Madness, John Michael Chambers. And at the conclusion of Will Johnson's show later tonight, be sure to visit ForbiddenKnowledgeTV.net for the rest of this story. Now, the Biden crime family's payoff scheme. This was a Rudy Giuliani podcast. Hunter Biden emails, which we've all come to learn about, under investigation by Senate Homeland Security, have hard drive report after hard drive report emerges. What we learned from Rudy Giuliani in his podcast here is that for 3 decades, Hunter Biden was used as a conduit to receive Joe Biden's dirty money so that his father wouldn't have to report it. Hunter, in turn, distributed the money among the family members and covered all of their expenses. And this, of course, is why the president today is very vocal about Biden belonging in prison and the entire crime syndicate. So the family members get to share in this money, including his half-sister, Hunter's half-sister, entire college tuition. Giuliani says that texts found on the hard drive apparently reveal the financial distribution scheme within the Biden crime family. Members received, in addition to what we just reported on the CCP turned over hard drives, the members of the Biden family received $1.5 billion for construction contracts in Iraq, $1.5 billion in portfolio management deals from China, and $8 million from Burisma, and $3.5 million from the wife of the mayor of Moscow. Well, now we've got Russia, Ukraine, and China. And who are they meddling with? Biden. Okay? So there you have it. And they, in turn, Hunter Biden, gave half the proceeds to who? Sleepy Joe. That's how he got rich, folks. 47 years in Congress, Senate, and VP. Next story before we wrap up in a moment. The World Health Organization, more breaking news. The doctor stuns the world after exposing the COVID truth. He said this, the World Health Organization doctor, and I quote, "I want to say it again," he said, within the World Health Organization, we in the World Health Organization do not advocate lockdowns as a primary means of controlling this virus. Did you hear that? We do not advocate lockdowns as a primary means of controlling this virus. And so we really do appeal to all the world leaders, stop using lockdowns as your primary control method. Develop better systems for doing it. Work together and learn from each other. Whew. Dr. Nabarro's thoughts were also echoed by those of Mike Ryan, the World Health Organization's top emergency expert, who also spoke out against lockdowns a week or so ago at a conference in Geneva, Switzerland, where he said this, and I quote, "What we want to try to avoid, and sometimes it's unavoidable, and we accept that, but what we want to try and avoid is these massive lockdowns that are so punishing to communities, to society, and to everything else." This was covered, again, in greater detail on our show. We'll be discussing this more this Thursday with Alexandra Bruce. Now, why is that happening? Because the class action lawsuits and the lawsuits are coming after them. They're being exposed. Even President Trump today is doing the right thing by Fauci and calling him out. They set the stage for this. We've talked about this for many months. So take off your masks, get back to work, school, and houses of worship, and get ready for a new day dawning after President Trump's landslide victory, providing we get out and vote, on November 3rd. Now, real quickly, ammunition story. Here's a 40,000-foot view. Over the last 4 years, the deep state, the fake news media, and the Democrats, that lot, they've had, let's envision a sort of a small shed, like a storage unit. And in that storage unit, stocked from the top to bottom, was ammunition. And they've been throwing and shooting all this ammunition at President Trump and we the people of the world for that matter. They've been depleting their stockpile. They're down to the very bottom of that stockpile with perhaps just a few fireworks and caps left in there. We, on the other hand, during the same period of time, practicing the art of war, we have an entire warehouse filled with ammunition, top to bottom. And you know what we just started to do in the last few weeks? And you can see it. We've just opened the shed door and we are unloading on them. All of our assets are now being deployed because we have all the goods on everyone, and justice is coming. It's all coming out and it's just begun. The president has told us. He said this last week here in my home state when he returned after 4 days of the COVID. He returned to the campaign trail in Sanford, Florida. And he said this, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, "We caught the swamp red-handed. The swamp has been caught, and we'll take care of business with them after the election." And he spoke specifically about Obama, Hillary, Biden, and others. So we still got some time left in October. If all the great surprises that have come out already isn't enough, I expect some more to come. So in closing, we have two amazing speakers lined up in the next 60 seconds after I wrap this talk up, Armando Escalante and Pastor Paul Blair. You do not want to miss what's coming. And following this broadcast, an hour and a half from now is, of course, Will Johnson will launch his regularly scheduled program. Follow my daily live alternative news broadcast. We bring on all kinds of amazing guests every Monday through Thursday live at Making Sense of the Madness. Each Friday on my pre-recorded show, summarizing the entire week of what you need to know in one short program called the 40,000-Foot View. And Sean Morgan, Q Decoder, joins me every Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, the Global Financial Reset Report. So when your children and grandchildren ask you, what were you doing when the global governance was being thrust down the throat of America and the world? What will your answer be? Freedom? It's up to us. Stay the course, trust the plan, heed the call. And remember, where we go one, we go all. Stay safe, and God bless.